Hello everyone, in today's video I want to talk about a mental framework that I use in order to make decisions. Now, this works for big decisions that can have significant impact on your life right now, or even small decisions that, may not affect you today, but, should you avoid making the decision to do them over a long enough time frame, you will, feel the ramifications of that. And this is something that I've used in a multitude of scenarios in my life. And a good example of it was when I tore my ACL. This is back in 2018. And with this, when I got the call that it's torn and we're gonna have to do surgery in order for me to ever play football again, I thought about this. I thought about, would I regret doing the surgery more or not doing the surgery more? I made that decision of doing it or not doing it. And I put myself in both scenarios. I thought, okay, let's say I did it. When I thought about doing the surgery, I was frightened. I was a little scared. I was worried. There's a lot of unknowns about it. I never done a big surgery like that before, and so I was a little worried. But then I put myself in the scenario of not doing the surgery and thinking, you know what, football's done. That's okay. We'll move on. I thought about that, and instantly, I was filled with regret of not seeing this through, of not being an athlete anymore. I was filled with anxiety about all these things that were far, for whatever reason, were far scarier to me than doing a surgery and continuing to play football. So right there, I knew that I was doing this surgery. I did not care how painful it would be, how mentally taxing the rehabilitation would be, because I knew it was going to be 9 months. I decided, you know what, I'm doing it. I don't care. So I called my mom that day and I said, like, look, this is what happened, but I'm getting the surgery. We're moving on. I'm gonna continue to play football. And so right there, I knew that I would regret not doing it more than doing the surgery, because I made that comparison. And so this even goes with small decisions that you make, because deciding to do a surgery is a big deal. Whether it's something small or big, surgery is a surgery. So that's an example of how it is with a big decision. But even with the small decisions, before and after the surgery, there was prehab and rehab that I had to do for my knee. I had to get my knee or my body rather, in a good condition before the surgery, so that my drop off wouldn't be so bad and I could bounce back quicker. But that required me to make a series of daily decisions to do the right thing for myself and for my knee, and to make sure that I can come out better on the other end. And it was things like, doing the stretches that I had to make, that I had to do, or the little exercise I had to do right after surgery, or before every workout, doing a very meticulous and detailed warm-up routine that my coach would put out. But it was on me to actually go through and do all those things with some intent. Obviously, showing up to lifts every day, doing proper cool downs, stretching on my own time, eating properly, icing when I needed to. All these things are things that I had to decide that I was going to do, because it's very easy to skip out on them, right? And even if I wanted to, I'd probably call up my strength coach and be like, hey, I'm not feeling the best today. I'm sick, or whatever excuse I can come up with. I'm not going to come in. I'm not saying that, if I'm actually sick, that's an excuse. I'm saying that I would just say that. But say I did that once, right? Not a big deal, right? It's not going to make a huge impact on the success of my rehabilitation. But say I did it once and I got away with it. And say I did it again. I maybe found a different excuse. I did it again and again and again. And eventually I got into the habit of being able to get out of it and use a scapegoat to not do my workouts, which were tough. They were grueling. I'd be in there for 2 hours, sweating buckets. Say I got into a bit of a habit, or I grew a liking towards missing the workouts. Wouldn't I regret in the future if my rehabilitation didn't succeed so well and I had to waste another season on the sidelines and not even potentially be eligible to dress, forget play, but just dress? I knew I would regret that. I knew that if I didn't put my best foot forward and do the right things consistently for my knee, for my rehabilitation, that in the future, I would regret it more if I didn't just put myself in the gym and sweat a little bit, right? The workouts were terrible. They were tough, but they had to be that way in order for me to recover. And I knew that I would regret not doing them more than doing them. And this is something that's followed for the rest of my time with even cancer. All the things I did with cancer were a series of big or small decisions. Big decisions to proceed with stem cell transplants, right? But little decisions to make sure that I'm doing the few things that I can control that day. Eating well, sleeping well, drinking water, making sure I'm on top of my meds that I had to be on. Keeping up with my relationships with my close friends and family, and doing things that I know that I'm passionate about and I like to move forward. So learning about fitness, health, business, all those things, right? Those were decisions that I had to make every day when they were not easy to make because I was not at my best. I was feeling terrible. So regardless of that though, I still knew I would regret not doing those things and keeping myself in like a sad, depressed, upset state more than actually just doing them, right? Because if I didn't do them, I knew that I would feel terrible in the moment, but also in the future because I didn't do anything. I can't look back at my time with cancer with any sort of like weird, fond nostalgia, right? Because those were some good times that I had there, with my mom or my dad or my brother or other things I was doing. There's little small things that I grew appreciation for. But if I allowed myself and I made the decision to just, be mopey and sad about things, then I wouldn't have that. I wouldn't have all those good times I had with my family and even on my own sometimes, just with the things that I was doing, that I enjoyed doing, right? So I pose this onto you for the next time that you have even a small decision to make, a big or a small one, is would you regret doing it more or would you regret not doing it more? And this could be something like a big decision of, taking a leap of faith with a new job or a new career or starting, your own little side hustle or business, or something small like going for a walk, not eating, the junk food, or even something like not going to a party because you know that you're going to be around a bunch of friends that want you to get, to drink a lot, which is not good for you. And then you're going to be tired the next day and not get anything done. And it's going to push you back, as opposed to say, you know what, guys, not tonight. Get a good night's sleep, wake up early the next day, get a head start on things and move yourself forward. All of these things are decisions that you have to make, and then weigh the odds of, will I regret, not going to the party, for example, or going to the party more? That's the decision you have to make. And that's on you. So I hope that this video helped you and will help you in the future to make decisions on what will be best for you in the future. Because sometimes it's not about now. Sometimes, a lot of the times, it's about the future. Because we only live in the now for a split second, but the future, has bigger, we have to live in it for longer. So yeah, I hope it helps you make a decision in the future, and one that is truly the best for you. And if you have any questions about any of this and you want to reach out, please, I'm happy to help. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening, especially if you made it to the end and got the entire message. And without that, I'll see you in the next one.